You know, we were talking about the holidays. It's incredible how they sneak up on us. And you got to start planning now because, you know, Thanksgiving is 2 weeks from today, which makes my tummy start to rumble. Diane Gottsman is here from the Protocol School of Texas, and she and a co-founder have this great campaign. You're getting the message out, and it's Thanksgiving Unplugged. Tell us about this.
Thomas Farley, who is known as Mr. Manners nationally, and I decided that we needed to do something. Our corporate clients are the ones who gave us the incentive to do it because people are always on their texts and on their devices. So what better way than to start at the Thanksgiving table? So we're talking about, we're having people sign a pledge and say, I am going to turn off my devices for Thanksgiving dinner. And that's how Thanksgiving Unplugged came about.
I think it's a great idea, especially when you're just enjoying a little fellowship around the dinner table.
Have you ever noticed everybody, you get together for a meal and everyone ends up on their phones? So, you know, this would be a good start.
Okay, well, you brought the Thanksgiving table to the Good Day Studio. Tell us, give us some pointers on when we're setting a table, something that's approachable yet the correct way to set a table.
You've hit the nail on the head, Carrie, because you know you want to come to a table that is pretty but usable because we're afraid when we sit down. We don't know what to do. So here's a quick little primer.
Okay.
First of all, you see this place card right up front, and I made this for you.
I love it.
You can't switch place cards. If you sit down at your Thanksgiving table and you don't like who you're sitting next to, too bad. You have to sit there because the host put you there for a reason. And a good rule of thumb is everything outside in. You eat outside in. So if you make a B and a D, your bread plate is always on your left, and your drinks, plural, is always on your right. And people ask all the time, well, what should be closest? Whatever you're going to reach for should be closest. You know, your water glass generally is closest to you.
Ooh, that's a good rule.
Yes.
B and D.
B and D. And right above the plate, the main plate, is a fork and a spoon, and that is your dessert fork and your dessert spoon. And you notice that my knives are facing inwards. The blades of the knives are facing inwards. That's because when it faces out towards a guest, it's like handing someone scissors with the scissor blades facing you.
So blades inwards.
And you can mix and match. Nothing has to, you know, it just needs to be fun, friendly, and easy to follow. So this is my little acorn plate that I'm going to use this year as my bread plate.
Oh, I think that's a lot of fun. So you've got your china, you have your crystal out, but then now you're mixing different pieces with like your bread. And
this I'm going to use for my salad plate. You know, these are just mix and match pieces. But my bread plate, again, it's on my left side, has a butter knife that goes with it because you want to make sure that you give people the right utensils. If you're not going to use it on the table, don't try and be fancy and put it out there because it looks good because it's going to confuse them. Your centerpiece should be low so you can see your guests across the table.
You know, and I like this over here. Speaking of utensils that you want to use, these are good conversation starters because, you know, I asked you, what are these? And having just got married and learning all the china and crystal and silver, of course, I didn't know what this was.
So this is a cake comb. And will you ever see it? It's a cake slicer. Maybe or maybe not. But it's someone's grandmother's. This was my grandmother's, so it's a conversation piece. These are little asparagus tongs. You probably will never see them. But you can talk about them and say, look, I found these at such and such place and I just thought they would be fun to talk about or to use.
And there's a personal connection there.
That's
These were my grandmother's.
That's right.
That's
now,
a lot of fun.
If you serve a gravy boat, make sure you have a plate and always end with a nice treat for your guests.
Oh, well, of course.
Yes. Give them something to go home with.
That is so great. Okay, well, you can find Diane at ThanksgivingUnplugged.com. Find out all the information there. Sign the pledge. Let's just hang it all up this Thanksgiving. I think it would be a nice idea.
That's right.
Nice to see you, Diane.